Well, Blake, they certainly couldn't. I mean, Kenny Dillingham and company took the doors off of those Big 12 preseason expectations and blew them wide open. They were picked to finish dead last, and now they're on the brink of clinching a berth in the first ever 12-team college football playoff. I'd say we're in for a pretty exciting weekend. Well, Kenny Dillingham said it best. We love heart attacks, and if you were a fan at Mountain America Stadium tonight, you definitely felt that. ASU takes down number 24 TCU 27-24 in nail-biting and exhilarating fashion. Shout out to Joaquin Rodriguez, predicted that score on the dot. But Gabby Chernoff and Chris Cartman coming to you from Tempe. Welcome inside Mountain America Stadium for the Sun Devil Source post-game show presented by Jones Auto Centers. Now, Chris, there's a lot to unpack in this game. If we were on Southwest, we'd be getting charged for an overweight baggage fee. But starting even before the game, dark skies in Tempe, lots of rain, flooding all around the valley. It's a blackout game, third straight sellout. Every home game this year for the Sun Devils has been sold out. And even with that game that was giving everybody heart attacks. I mean, Kenny Dillingham's brother went up to him after the game and called him Cardiac Kenny, close game Kenny, Cardiac King, whatever you want to call it. Let us know what your favorite nickname for Kenny Dillingham and the Sun Devils is now after that one. 2 straight weeks of that. But Chris, just with everything to unpack, big overarching thoughts from that game. The Texas to Tempe recruiting motto takes on an ulterior meaning this weekend as ASU has a handful of former Longhorns on its roster who are playing against their former squad this weekend. As I'm sure you can imagine, for those players, this one just means more. Now, this ASU community really seems to have welcomed you with open arms. There were several other head coaches from Sun Devil athletics programs at your opening press conference. We've seen you all out and about in Tempe as well. So although you're just moving from one spot in the valley to another, what has this transition into Sun Devil athletics been like for you? Arizona State has officially taken the ice for practice here at the Xcel Energy Center in St. Paul as one of the NCHC's last 4 teams standing in its inaugural season in the conference. The number 11 Sun Devils will take on the defending national champions number 6 Denver in the semifinals. They took the season series 3-1 and would be championship game bound with a 4th on Friday. Yeah, it's really interesting. They're only returning 11 players, and the entire landscape of college hockey, kind of as we know it, is really changing. There was a rule passed where CHL players, CHL is just kind of another development path up in Canada, similar to the NCAA, but no school is involved. It's just a development path, a development league. So CHL players are now able to play in the NCAA. About 60% of this year's draft talent from the 2025 NHL draft came from the CHL, and ASU was actually one of the first, pioneers to really embrace that rule change. Braxton Whitehead is a forward that they have coming in this year. He was one of the first players to make the jump from the CHL to the NCAA, and now something that has just recently kind of, shaken the hockey world is the news that we broke. Noah Beck, he was a standout defenseman for ASU last season. His brother is Jack Beck. He's coming from the AHL to play for ASU. I think he's maybe the 3rd or 4th player to do this. So Greg Powers really rolling with the punches here and just embracing everything as it is. A very exciting show for sure, but we'll kick things off Thursday night, ASU baseball, Phoenix Municipal Stadium. It's the Sun Devils series opener against BYU. First meeting between the two programs since 2022. Now, BYU got 2 in the top of the first inning, but here's Matt King. He has an RBI single for ASU's first score of the night. He would have 3 RBI on the evening to bring his total to 7 in the past 2 games. That cuts the deficit in half to 1 BYU. Bottom of the 3rd, it's Kian Vu at the dish, and then an error by the second baseman allows Jacob Tobias to come in and score, and it puts 2 runners in scoring position. ASU's first lead of the night. It's 3-2 Sun Devils. Just the very next inning, in the bottom of the 4th, Kyle Walker, one of ASU's most reliable bats as of late, he launches a double to right. That's Jax Ryan rounding the bases, and he would come in to score. And then later in that same inning, it's the young gun, Landon Hairston, with an oppo solo shot. That's his 3rd home run of the year. Floodgates have officially opened for the Sun Devils. 6-3 lead now as his teammates huddle around him and congratulate him for that homer. Top of the 5th inning, Ben Jacobs is on the mound. He punches out Riker Show, who goes down looking. 6.1 innings pitched and 11 strikeouts for Jacobs on the evening. Still 6-3 Sun Devils. Now top of the ninth, Cole Carlone in to close a 1-2-3 inning on just 11 pitches for the sophomore southpaw. 8-3 your final score on Thursday night. Snaps a 6-game losing streak against the BYU program, looking for their 7th series win of the season tonight. Here's Willie Bloomquist after the win.
Hi everyone, Gabriella Chernoff here with Greg Powers here at Baxter Arena following Arizona State's series split, the regular season finale for the Sun Devils. 19-13-2 the final record. Coach, first thing I have to ask you about that final sequence. You guys are on the power play. Cullen Potter gets tripped and then the call gets revoked on the good goal by Sillinger. What was the explanation given to you and what were your thoughts?
They said it was conclusive that it was a high stick, and we've looked at it. We don't agree. When the call on the ice is good goal, it has to be absolutely definitive that it was a high stick, and it wasn't. So the fact that they overturned it is really disappointing.
Yeah, an unfortunate sequence there, but looking big picture at your guys' season in the NCHC as a whole, you were picked to finish 8th in the conference. You're in 2nd place now. What have you thought just about how your team has fared in the SEC of college hockey?
Yeah, I mean, unbelievable. That's what I told the guys. It stings right now because we felt like we had this game, and we felt like we outplayed them tonight, and we did. You know, their goalie was unbelievable. Credit to that kid. He played lights out. So we locked up 2nd place tonight. You know, Denver lost, so they can't catch us. North Dakota can't catch us, I don't think. North Dakota can't, yeah, no. So, yeah, we locked up 2nd place, and that's a lot to be proud of in our first year in this league. Bye week's coming at a great time to get healthy, and now we focused on playoffs and go from there.
The identity of this team has been defined as fast and relentless. We saw that last weekend. We saw that this weekend as well. How did that kind of come to be the identity of this team, and how do you think they performed to that tonight?
I think they really did well tonight. You know, again, we could have been up probably 3 in the first, and that kid stood on his head. He made some unbelievable saves. We were fast. We were hunting pucks. We were above pucks. We played really well. Again, you know, the best player in the ice was in their net, and credit to that kid. But I thought we played to our identity tonight, and you know, if you're big, you want to be kind of hard and heavy. We're not a big team, but we're a lot of team speed, and when you have good sticks and you play relentlessly, you're tough to beat, and that's how we played this season.
And then kind of looking ahead, you have the bye week next week, and then you have another week off before you host that quarterfinal series. Is there any concern at all with that amount of time off?
No, it's just a week, you know, so we're gonna rest up and get these guys really ready to go, and we'll get some touches in this week and make sure we're completely healthy and healed up, and then get after it really hard the week of playoffs. And we're excited to play playoff hockey at Mullet. At the start of the season, the goal for us was to host the playoff series, and we accomplished that goal, right? And tonight stings because we felt like we had the game in hand and we're the better team, but we just didn't get it done.
You've called this the deepest roster that this program has ever seen, that you've ever coached. How has this roster lived up to those expectations, and what makes it such a special group?
Yeah, I mean, it absolutely has lived up to those expectations in every way. I mean, you got, you know, that kid Benji walking out with an Achilles, and you know, we've missed some really good players all year, and guys step up in different roles and different line combinations, and they never ask. They just perform and empty the tanks every night for us, and that's all you can ask as a coach. So it's been a great regular season for us, a really good team. We're still well within the hunt to make an NCAA tournament with a really strong playoff run, and that's what our plan is.
Well, 16th in the pairwise after the conclusion of tonight's game. Coach, thanks so much for your time. We'll see you back for playoff hockey.
Appreciate it.